Hi everybody. I know that we're all stuck inside right now and our school district is going to start doing something really cool. They're going to start having our math lessons and our wit and wisdom reading lessons on the television. And it's going to be so exciting. And for families who miss the lessons on television, which will be on channel 77, they will also be on a website which I will link when I know it. But here's the problem. Normally, before I would start this topic that's in our wit and wisdom lessons, which is the continents, I would teach our friends what the continents are. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm actually going to have a mini lesson I really encourage everybody to watch so that you are absolutely ready for starting the wit and wisdom lessons on the TV. So let's get started with our lesson on the continents. Now, first of all, I keep saying this crazy word, continents. What is a continent? Well, a continent is a huge, huge piece of land on our planet. Land is anything that you can walk on or live on or grow things on. We live on land. We swim in the water. Now, all around the continents are water that makes oceans. Oceans are huge pieces of water that cover our planet. In fact, I have our globe right here, and wherever you see the blue, that is a big ocean. Now, real water actually isn't blue. It's clear, but the light from the sun bounces off and makes it look like it's blue. It doesn't turn it blue, it makes it look like it's blue. Now on my globe though, I see these bright, colorful things. These are actually the continents. Now in real life, the continents are not orange, yellow, red, purple. They're green and brown because that's the color of the land. But I just wanted to show you that wherever you see blue is an ocean, a huge, huge place filled with water. Most of the time it's salt water and you can't drink that, it'll make you sick. And if you see these big chunks of land, the dirt, the rocks, where we live and walk and where we can grow food, those are the continents. So before I get started, let's practice these words because they're really important to know. I'll say them and then I want you to repeat them back. Continent. Ocean. Land. Water. Good job. Now I'm going to read two very short books that will help us learn a little bit more about these oceans and continents. The first book I'm going to read is called The Earth is Mostly Ocean. On a map or a globe of the Earth, the blue parts are water. The other colors are land. You can see that there is a lot more blue than all the other colors put together. That's because most of the Earth, where we live, is covered by water, the oceans. The Pacific Ocean is the largest. The Atlantic, which is really close to Baltimore, is next. And then the Indian Ocean. You can see these two children are looking at a globe, and they're probably looking at how big the oceans are compared to the continents or land. The Arctic Ocean surrounds the North Pole, so it's very, very cold. Much of its surface water is frozen into ice. Polar bears would live in the North Pole and around the around the Arctic Ocean. The word sea is sometimes used instead of ocean, but sea may also mean a certain part of an ocean. For example, the Caribbean Sea is part of the Atlantic Ocean. If you've ever gone swimming at an ocean beach, maybe you noticed that the water tasted salty. All ocean water has salt in it. Water in lakes and rivers is not salty. We call it fresh water. So you can drink fresh water as long as it's been cleaned, but you cannot drink salt water. It's very bad for your body. At one place in the ocean, the Mariana Trench, the ocean floor is almost 7 miles below the surface. You could put the highest mountain on Earth in the Mariana Trench, and it would be completely underwater. So here's the trench. It's the deepest part of the ocean. And you could put Mount Everest in there, and the water would still be taller than the biggest mountain on Earth. Most of the ocean bottom, or floor, is about 2¼ to 3½ miles deep and flat. But like the surface of the Earth, it also has canyons and mountains and even underwater volcanoes. Those underwater volcanoes actually are building new land. It just takes millions and millions of years. Regular changes in the level of ocean water is called tides. Here is a beach at low tide and the same beach at high tide. The water has risen and covers more of the sand. On most coasts, or where the ocean meets the land, about 12.5 hours pass between one high tide and one low tide. You might have experienced this if you've ever gone to the beach, and at the first part of the day, the water is much higher or lower, and then it changes throughout the day. What causes tides? The moon and the sun. They actually pull the ocean waters towards them. We learned in our classroom about gravity, and this has to do with gravity. The moon's pull is stronger because it's much closer to Earth than the sun is. So we learned that the sun has gravity, it's pulling the Earth towards it, but the moon actually has some gravity pull on Earth too, and that's what causes the oceans to move around in the tides. Life in the ocean takes many forms. Some of them are very strange. There are animals that look more like plants, animals that live in shells, animals you can see all the way through. They share the ocean waters with fish, thousands and thousands of kinds, and with marine mammals such as whales and dolphins. Oceanographers are scientists who study the oceans. Some of them explore the depths in submersibles or submarines like this one. Even where it's too deep for humans to go, submersibles are used, with no people on them. These probes have video cameras that send pictures to the ships above. There's still so much to be learned about the oceans. It has been said that we know more about the surface of the moon in outer space than we do about the floor of Earth's own oceans. And here are some words in our glossary. That's a text feature. We have map, globe. A map is a flat 2D picture, and a globe is a 3D object that you can move and touch and feel. It's a sphere. The ocean floor, low tide, when the water's pulled away, high tide, when the water's pushed up closer to the shore, submersible, and ocean life. So that's our book called The Earth is Mostly Ocean, because if you look at our globe, the Earth is actually mostly ocean. All this light blue, remember, real water isn't light blue, it's clear. All this light blue is ocean. The Pacific Ocean covers almost half of the entire Earth. Now, let's talk about these continents by reading the book, Where is My Continent? I live on a continent. A continent is a big piece of land. Families live on continents all around the world. There are 7 continents on the Earth. There's North America, where we live, South America, Antarctica, Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia. I can find the continents on a map. I can find the continents on a globe. Now remember, the difference between a map and a globe is a map is a 2D flat picture of the Earth, and the globe is a 3D sphere model that we can use to move and touch and see. Continents have water all around them. Those are the oceans we just learned about. The continent I live on is called North America. North America has the Pacific on one side. The Atlantic Ocean is on the other side. Remember when we learned about our country called the United States? We learned that the redwood forests are on one side and the New York Island is on the other. That's like the oceans. The Pacific is on one side and the Atlantic is on the other. And the United States is a big country, so it's surrounded by 2 different oceans. North America has 3 large countries: Canada, Mexico, in the United States where we live. In North America, your home can be by the ocean. Your home can be in the mountains. Your home can be on the plains. Those are flat lands. Where is my continent? My continent is on the earth where I live with my family. And here is a picture of the continents. Now remember, in real life, they're not beautiful and colorful. They're beautiful greens and browns because that's the dirt and the plants and the rocks that we live on. That's the land. And the ocean, that's water. And remember, water is not really blue, it's clear. It's just that the way the sunlight hits it, it makes it seem blue. So here's the 7 continents. And here are some brief facts about the continents. At one time, the 7 continents were actually one huge piece of land. And over millions and millions and millions of years, they separated from earthquakes and volcanoes, and now they're 7 separate continents. Antarctica is on the South Pole, and it's the coldest continent. Almost nobody lives there except for a few scientists who study the ice and the glaciers on it. The Antarctica is also the only continent that doesn't have reptiles or snakes, probably because it's too cold. Let's go over our glossary real quick. Remember, our glossary is a very important text feature. The words are continent, one of the 7 large land masses of the earth. Countries, places where people live and share the same laws. Globe, a round model of the world. This is our globe. It's a 3D sphere. And up here is our 2D flat map that we've had in our classroom. And just so you guys remember, I always have our country circled in bright pink. A map is a drawing of an area showing borders, towns, water, and mountains. And plains are large flat areas of land. I hope you learned a lot about oceans and continents to get you ready for your wit and wisdom lesson starting next week. If you're on Seesaw, you guys can do the activity I posted. Let's practice our words real quick, and then we'll say goodbye. Continent, ocean, land, water. And I hope you're using your water to wash your hands and stay safe and well. I miss everybody, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.